Before we start today, I would like to introduce myself first. So this is Cheryl from the Hong Kong Baptist University, and I'm working in the admissions office mainly, responsible for the international recruitment. And today, as you can see by the topic, that we are going to have three very brilliant students studying under the School of Creative Arts, and they will share with you about their very first-hand stories, unique experience, and the very unforgettable opportunities they have encountered by studying different majors and programs under the School of Creative Arts. So today we have Kristen studying art and technology, which is a very new program in Baptist University, which is a personalized pathway program that you have to be very independent. You have to design your own pathway with the professor in order to graduate and in order to finish all the courses. And then we have Alina studying visual arts under the School of Creative Arts, and she is year one, and she only studied one semester here. And she would share what she encountered and what she would really want to share with you about her experience, why she would pick visual arts, but not the other majors in Hong Kong. So last but not least, we have XJ studying a very special program in Hong Kong Baptist University, which is acting for global screen. So I think this is a really interesting one because if you ask me, actually, I can't tell you what is it about, but then XJ can actually share with you what he is actually studying and what he enjoyed most by studying this program. So now is the time for us to know more about their stories and their program. I'm sure that would be an exciting journey. So please pay attention to it, and we will actually put the Q&A section at the very end of the sharing section. So please save your questions, or you can feel free to type any questions in the Q&A box. We will cater all of the questions after the sharing from three brilliant students. So may I have Kristen sharing first? Yeah, thank you, Kristen.
Hey, hello everyone. My name is Kristen, and I am a Korean American who grew up in Hong Kong. I actually, for the majority of my primary and secondary school years, I was homeschooled, but I went to a public school in Hong Kong called YMCA of Hong Kong Christian College. And going into uni, I used the DSC curriculum, the local system. And then currently I'm year 2 studying the Bachelor of Art and Science, Art and Technology. So why did I choose Hong Kong, and why Hong Kong Baptist University specifically? So Hong Kong is a big economic hub, and it is big for technology and innovation over the past several years. And also being a location that is 4 hours by flight from so many different countries has made it very appealing to me to increase my exposure to various innovations. So I've always been interested in art, and seeing how Hong Kong Baptist University offered a major that emphasized transdisciplinary ideas by integrating art with technology really interested me. It doesn't emphasize and focus simply on one simple aspect, but this major helped me to think in so many different ways and in many different aspects. So I find it a very big advantage to be knowledgeable in many different aspects, and that is what HKBU offered, a really well-designed, all-rounded creative art major. So I especially fell in love with this major due to its many opportunities of field trips and diverse learning creative projects. Ever since the first semester of the first year, I was able to see many other artists' work and exhibitions. Even towards the start, we were able to connect with each other and go for dinner after these field trips as a family. During the summer, my classmates and I were given the opportunity to travel to Shenzhen for 2 days and 1 night in order to see other art and technology exhibitions dotted across the city. It wasn't a compulsory trip, but I found it a very fruitful experience to get to learn about the latest artistic trends in other cities as well. You should highly consider this major because it gives you so many exciting opportunities to visit various exhibitions. And do visit them whenever you have the chance, because you can learn so much from these short but fruitful trips. There were also many opportunities of gaining hands-on experience on different creative, individual, and collaborative projects. This major definitely helped me to learn to work with others and broaden my creative abstract thinking. The hands-on experience and first-hand exhibition visits were what I found most memorable. Despite the many opportunities of going to various exhibitions, both in Hong Kong and in mainland, I was also able to be involved in a summer internship and exhibitions of my own. I was provided the opportunity to intern under my professor, and we had the honor to design the interior space of the transdisciplinary Discovery Commons at the second floor of the main library. We created many immersive and interactive works, including a project for a slideshow with complementary LED lights, which is a project that I led. In addition, I was able to participate in exhibitions on campus, as well as exhibitions in the Inner Carnival 2023 in Science Park. Several others and I set up interactive exhibits, which were enjoyed by many students, families, and elderlies. It made me truly enjoy what I was doing and learning in my major, and it gave me the motivation and dream to continue what I was doing within this field. During the span of my time in Hong Kong Baptist University, I began to fall more in love with filming and editing. I really enjoyed filming how others interacted with my artworks and with my exhibitions, and I also loved filming the works of other artists at their exhibitions. The biggest dream of mine is to have my name at the end credit of a film or a television series sometime in the future, if not specifically at the end credit of a film. I want to have my name known through my works in different exhibitions. A big advantage of this major is that there are so many career paths you can take after graduating, from 2D and 3D to even the entertainment and game industry. I want to slowly work my way towards that goal through different internships and broadening my social circle. The courses provided within this major and the professors in this major also really help in giving advice and connecting me to a larger network of artists. Thank you.
So thank you so much for Kristen sharing. I can hear so many like exhibitions, internships, so many opportunities for trips, all of them. So as I know, this is a very new program in Hong Kong Baptist University, and from the name, it is very new as well because not many universities are offering programs like arts and technology immersing together. So I'm sure that you should have some expectation before uh, picking this program as a major, but then you have studied here for a year time, right? So what is the biggest difference between, I mean, before you join this program and after you studying for a year?
Yeah, so before I started this program and in high school, I didn't really know and understand what I wanted to do in the future. But after applying to art and technology, um, I realized that there's so many different ways in which you can go in your career paths. So before, since art and technology is fairly new, I thought there were only a few ways that you can go. But actually, you can do so much more like 2D and 3D animation. You can go into the game industry. We're learning how to code, so you can also go into like computer science and also the entertainment industry of like acting as well, filming, and just becoming a director, producer. You can be any like creative type of job you want. So it's very, very eye-opening, and yeah, it's a wonderful major.
So what you just mentioned are like a large dimensions of abilities to study this program. So any background or pre-requirement or any I mean knowledge you should have if students would like to pick this program.
Mm. So there are many softwares that you use throughout the years. I would say if you have some knowledge of different software, it is quite helpful. So it gives you a head start, but it is not always necessary because the professors always give you like step-by-step instructions all the way from the beginning and help you really become a professional in different software, in like modeling software, in like Adobe software, and it's like the professors really help you and guide you, so it's not a problem if you don't really know how to use different technology.
So it's about art and technology. Which part do you like more?
I would say like 3D modeling is one of my favorite. We use some architecture software, some like software that they use in like big animating companies like Pixar and Disney. And so it's really interesting how to see like what they do behind the scenes and um, to be able to make something on that scale too is really interesting.
So did you answer my question? So are you interested in arts or technology more?
Um, I would say art.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you like art because you like art more than software, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So maybe we would stop here first for Kristen. So next one, we would have Elena, who is studying visual arts in Hong Kong Baptist University and the School of Creative Arts. So, Elena, it's your turn to share more about your stories with us.
Sure. Do you see my screen? Yeah. Okay. So hi everyone. My name is Ailina. To introduce myself a little bit, I can say that I'm from Kazakhstan and I finished IB diploma program in my home country. So for the final 2 years of high school, like for my diploma program, I choose visual arts subject for high level. And at the same time, during the secondary school, apart from the main school program, I was attending in art school for over 3 years, right until I graduated. So basically, this a little bit information of me can. So from this, you can see that I was really interested in this discipline for a long time before university. And these experiences of gaining new theoretical knowledge and practical skills in visual arts, they actually led me to this moment. Here I am, a freshman studying visual arts at HKBU. Um, so you may ask why I choose specifically HKBU and Hong Kong for my future studies. Well, the answer is very simple, and it may sound a bit sad because for many students who are willing to apply for creative majors, they know that there is a very relevant problem of lack of these programs at universities. So very few universities actually provide the creative majors. So I was very lucky to find HKBU because um, this university really provided me the perfect program for me, which is visual arts. So I didn't want to, like, I'm not really interested in technology and all this stuff. So I was very lucky to find the program that is really focusing um, on like visual applied arts. And for all the students who also want to apply for the creative majors, I really advise you to apply for HKBU because the visual arts major here, it offers variety of opportunities and creates the environment for students to develop and study. What do I mean by that? Like the program at visual arts here, it allows students to enter the sphere very gently. Like for the first year, we just studied the general like directions of visual arts. For example, 3D arts, 2D arts. Now we are studying the experience arts and design. And later on, only on second and third year, we will choose our like directions that we really want to learn more about. And also here in visual arts, the community and the professors, they really set the mood. Like by like feeling their support, you really can focus on your studies and learn more. Yes. Also, the visual arts program here, it creates like the physical environment for students. What do I mean by that? It is like visual arts students, they have their own campus, which is called Kaita campus. We call it Academy of Visual Arts Building. And here, like we have everything settled for visual arts students. Like we have a lot of studios, spaces for exhibition, and everything like that. So the university really created all the necessary resources for us to continue our studies. So I am like in general, I'm very grateful and happy that I choose to study visual arts at HKBU. Many of parents, they think that like letting your children to study visual arts is a waste of money and time. However, like this is very common misconception. Like I completely do not agree with the statement because like as many will say, people who study visual arts, they will definitely 100% be artists in the future. That is not true because there are many directions which you can choose. For example, you can go more into design or education sphere, which I'm planning to do in the future. So by the end of my studies here, I want to attend as many as possible internships and projects specifically connected with the educational with education, because in the future I want to I see myself as arts teacher or professor. So yeah, I believe this nature will provide a lot of opportunities for students. Thank you.
Thanks, Elena. So it's so happy to. I know you do not have much. I mean, you only study here for one semester, and this is a very new experience to you as well. But then I'm really happy to hear that you enjoyed studying visual arts here at Hong Kong Baptist University, and you can get along with your teachers, classmates, and this is not easy, right? Yeah, because you are coming from a very far away country, Kazakhstan, and this is not a really popular major for especially Kazakhstan students to pick, right? Yeah. So what I want to know more is that you mentioned you would like to be a teacher after you graduate from the visual arts major. So I'm not sure if it is too early to ask you this question, but I really want to know, like, if you would like to stay in Hong Kong for your further development, like either in a career or either to further study, further polish your skills in visual arts in the future. At this moment, I mean, at least at this moment.
Okay, so after graduation, I really want to apply for a master's degree, like somewhere not in Hong Kong to like explore more and gain new experience. However, like in the very future perspective for my like career, I really would love to stay in Hong Kong because like in Kazakhstan, the sphere of arts is not really developed. Like I'm not sure if I will be able to find the career opportunities that I might have found here. So yeah, I do think I want to stay in Hong Kong because the environment here is good. And also in Hong Kong, as it is like very international place, like there are many cultures colliding, and seeing how the arts from different culture like how they work out together is very interesting.
Yeah, and also I would like to know, like I'm not really sure about the visual arts program, so I would like to know, maybe this is a question from our audience as well, like what is it about for the assignments? So how would you submit your assignments, like in the form of individual or in group project or what?
Actually, our assignment system is very like simple because generally, for the last semester and for this semester, our main projects are only individual projects that we do. So semester is divided into two parts. So in the first part semester, we like learn about one arts direction, and in the second we switch to another. For example, in the last semester we did first part was 2D art and then 3D art. This semester we're having first part of the semester like experience design, and in the next we'll have medium art. So we have to do one project for each like art direction, and then finally it will. So in general, like during the semester, we have to do two like big projects, and that's it. But also, we need to do our process journals, which means that when we are attending to each lesson, we have to take notes, do the sketches, like show on the paper that you're really attending the lesson, like you're listening, you're taking something for yourself. And at the end of the semester, we pass those diaries to our professors, and then they can see our progress throughout the semester. So the assessments are pretty simple, I think.
Simple to do, but not all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you like working on your own more or working with a group of students, like friends?
What?
Would you prefer working, I mean, to get along with only on your own or to get along with a group of students during the projects?
I like working alone because in visual arts we're all like everyone is creative and they have their own perspective. So it would be extremely hard for us to somehow combine and do things together because we have different styles and different things we consider important in the project. So it is more like efficient to work alone. Yeah. However, we always check out on each other's works. Like we do each other comments and suggestions. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, given visual arts is a kind of niche program among the others, so would you actually recommend your friends in Kazakhstan or other countries to study visual arts in Hong Kong Baptist University? I mean, of course, given they're interested in this part.
Yeah, for sure. Because I've been searching for many universities that are providing like creative arts majors. However, I found HKBU the most suitable for me because once I opened the syllabus and like all the courses throughout the 4 years, I found myself like this is really what I want to do because at the beginning you just studying the general visual arts, and later you can choose for yourself like in what direction you want to move. So you don't have to follow the guide that university gives you. Like you have a choice to do what you want in the like third and fourth year. Yeah. So it gives you a lot of freedom.
Freedom is important, right? Especially for, I mean, during your study in the university. Yeah. So I will go back to later on, Alina and Kristen. So now, last but not least, if you are interested in acting, something about acting, then please pay attention to what XJ is going to share with us. So XJ, I would like to pass the mic to you. Yep, I can see your screen.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes. Okay, hi, sorry. Hi, my name is Akshay and I'm a Malaysian student, but I mainly, or I used to actually, I resided in mainland China before. I lived my whole childhood there, and I studied and graduated in the IB diploma program. And now I am a year two acting student in HKBU's Acting for Global Screen program. So uh, I'm guessing usually it's very weird for anyone to choose acting as a profession. Believe me, I know that. I had to go through the same thing with my school counselor, who really questioned why I want to do acting, but also noticed that I am not a very academic student, which I guess is probably what most actors are. You're not, perhaps are not the most academic, but you like to do something creative. And I think acting is that. For me, AGS, which the program is nicknamed, I didn't really found it. It was my dad who found it first, and he showed me this program, and the program is very new. We do not have a graduating class yet, and actually, in fact, it's still trying to find its way, and it's still growing as a program through the various cohorts that we have. And that was sort of the draw for me when I was thinking about coming to AGS, which is that it is a new program, and it's also a new generation for actors, because in Hong Kong at least, the main acting school that actors will go to is called APA, which is the main acting school. But AGS then came about, which gave it a different path for any young actors, and that was the draw for me to be part of this new experiment to try. And that is really what, I guess, for me, when I'm learning the program, what art's about, which is just trying and finding your way through. And for me, the program really stood out, which was when I did my audition for the program, where I met the two main professors, Professor Michael Bray and Annie Chung, who were very kind and very supportive, and they were very open to anyone uh, who they were talking to, and they really wanted to know you. And in fact, it was only later on I found out that the program is very concentrated on a very small group of people. In fact, every class, every year will only accept 16 students. And that is sort of the main thing about it, which is that as an actor, the business is very competitive. You're always going to be trying to find your next role. You're going to have to beat out your other opponents. But really, as an actor, you also want to find a safety net, which is what AGS is doing, is that in each cohort, you and your 15 other classmates are each other's support system. You are helping each other go through this program and also into the real world, into the business. And that's now for me, my closest family here. I spend every single day with them, and I am indebted to their kindness and to their experiences as also as actors in Hong Kong, and to their suggestions and opinions. And the program, because it's very new, it's also very different. Whereas most acting schools around the world will most likely really break you down and build you back up as a very professional performer. In AGS, what the program is trying to do is it's giving you different techniques, skills, method that our instructor has been taught, and passing that on to us. But as an actor, it is up to ourselves to decide what's our method. And that's for every single class. In every class, we learn different things, new techniques, or we learn different ways and methods from different masters in the arts, in the sort of acting circle. And we as an individual actor has to learn how to incorporate that into our own system and be really our own best performer, and also really work how to work well with other people, which is sort of a very main thing in this class. In a lot of our classes, that we always have to cooperate with each other and act with different partners. This program has various opportunities. Some of the opportunities are in classworks, where we would be having to improvise or create our own scene. And really, we don't really have a script for it. We just kind of come up with it on the spot and make a sort of story structure to it. And other times is also in stage classes, at least, we usually have a script, and we come up with our own interpretation of how we're going to perform it and what's the whole story going to be about. And in some cases, for example, like my stage classes, for my screen classes, we also get to direct our own screen work, where we get to create our own short films, mini short films, and bring it out during the classes. As for sort of outside opportunities, exchanges or internships, we have various different types. In fact, some of the types are mostly my classmates would go out and do castings. They would go out and cast themselves in stage shows, musical performances, or even commercials. And for AGS, we're also very close with FTV, the film and television program, where we are usually the actors for their final projects or their assignments. And that's how we build our connections. We meet different people from the program, and we get that connection. We gain new friendships. Sometimes also we get work from our instructors and the teachers who have taught us, where they would give us some work from outside. And that's usually also a very good experience, because sometimes those are, for example, background work, where we get to work as a crew member. And on film productions, also sometimes like that. In our classes, we all have to do different roles. We have to hold the boom mic, or we have to be the camera assistant, or we're doing the lighting work. So, or we're props and we have to manage the props and move it to certain areas and move the whole set around. So we learn several different skills and techniques, but also get different type of opportunities to try and figure out what's sort of our method and also the respect we have for the business. But also a sort of a very rare thing that happens in the program, which sort of happened with my cohort, is that we also like to create our own short films. As as an international student who's not really allowed to work in Hong Kong, and also because the Hong Kong business is mainly conducted in Cantonese, it is hard to cast myself in a lot of local productions. So instead, I have been participating with one of my classmates in making short films, and I have participated as a supporting actor in a recreation of the iconic scene in the show Peaky Blinders, where we chose one very small scene and we turn it into a sort of small mini short film. Or I've also worked on his and his friends short film Outside, which is something that they've created on their own, and I help them as a crew member. Or even for us, we have even made our own little Oscars, Emmy, Golden Globes event where we celebrated our time in our first year, and we created a whole opening video for that particular night, which was a very huge experience, and also so combined everything we learned. And as of right now, I'm also working on a comedy short film, which I'm making with my friend, and in sort of the production phase right now of getting it made. So, and if I guess also, what's my ambition or my target after graduating from AGS? I guess as any actor, you want to get to Hollywood, you want to be in the business, you want to meet all the big stars. The reality of it is that it's not going to be as quick. So my goal right now is just to create my own stories and to act in any productions I can be in, and to get as many opportunities as I can. And one of those, like I said, is creating my own short films. I like to write. I also found my love for directing, so I like to continue working on that and making my own mini short films. And that's gonna be my goal for now.
Thanks so much. Learned a lot because I really not into that uh, field before listening to all of your sharing. So, XJ, I would like to know a very stupid question, maybe. How do you have any assignments or midterm tests? I mean, how to evaluate your acting, you know?
Uh, Most of the time, I would say is that you would never know whether you're actually having an assignment, because we treat everything as already like a midterm paper or final assessment, because it is to train our own mind to treat everything as important as the next one, no matter how big or small. And so, um, for example, in my first year, I did a class in fundamentals of acting, where we did, each week was a new scene work. We had been paired up at random, and we had to create our own scene work each week, different pairs for the whole first semester. And we didn't realize that that was actually already one of our assignments, but it didn't matter, because the part of the grading for that class was that how do we function as an actor? Can we handle the pressure of being on a film set? Can we handle the pressure of being given instructions or directions by the director, which is our professor? Can we also handle the distractions that come about from a film crew running around trying to move the lighting or the props? So that was like one of the areas that our professor looked at, which is that how do we cope with that? And our final assessment for that particular class was what's called an object exercise, where we just do our own sort of solo performance. And we had to make sure that we did it under 5 minutes. So that was like one. Or whereas for a stage class, it would usually be that, for example, my teacher Annie, she had given us a script to perform. And we get to create whatever scenario with the script, because the script itself was very generic. So each pair had a different scene work. I had one scene work where uh, I just accidentally walked into a mental patient, into a patient's uh, hospital room, and the patient was a mental freak, and she was like screaming at me, and that was like one scene work. Whereas another one would be an awkward date. Another one would be a couple whose husband had died, and then it goes in many different ways. That's sort of the fun about the program, is that each person in the group in our cohort is all different from each other. So you can expect to have a different scene where you're never going to see one that sort of that seems like the same, because everyone's all trying to create their own stories, which is the most fun of it, is that you see everyone really try hard and put in their creative output.
So it's quite different from Elena's program. Like what I just asked Elena is that, oh, do you prefer working on your own or in a group? So for XJ, you must work in a team, right? Because
Well, sometimes, yes, we do have to work in a team. We do have like group projects. If, for example, like I think a very common thing in universities is doing group presentations. But the one thing our teachers have told us is that do not make it feel like a boring presentation. They do not want us to stand there and talk and read off a script. In fact, in our first year, we had that class, and the first thing that our teacher told us was just do not read from a script. Do not give me bullet points. I want you to do a performance. And so each week was more stressful than the next because we're trying to outdo each other. We create short videos that we did just 2 hours ago where we spent the whole midnight trying to create. We buy costumes to play a certain character. And some of us even dress up as a woman. Some of us play a very angry doctor who just doesn't care about the patient who's asking a certain question. So it's all varies from one to another, which is the fun part. And then also sometimes uh, we we have to do a very big group performances, and for that was one of my favorite experiences, which is that we got a script called Widows, and we all had to perform it. We were divided into two groups. But the fun part is that each group had a very different story. One was a more abstract, very movement heavy performance, whereas another felt like it was a stage performance. It had a storytelling to it. There was a beginning, middle, end. Whereas another one felt like it was a flash mob, which was amazing to see because you never knew what the other person was doing. So you just encapsulated in the moment, which I guess as an actor we want to feel, is that you want to feel the emotion. You want to feel like you're in that scene. You want to feel like you're in the 90s or you're in the 2000s or whatever year or time period it is set in. So I'd say yes.
So talking about the creativity that XJ actually mentioned a lot of times, that you always need to think out of the box. You always need to be different from the previous performance. So is that the thing for Elena and Christian's program as well? So you always need to think of some very fresh ideas, new things.
Well, yes, because
Yeah,
sorry.
it's okay.
Well, I just want to clarify, but also I feel like I maybe have said it in a very bad way, which is that maybe we're all competing with each other. It is that we're not really competing with each other in my program, but we are trying to be different each time because it can get boring to repeat the same things over and over. So you always, no matter whether it's 100, whether it's a 180-degree difference from your previous performance, you're just trying to make it feel like you are tackling a new challenge every second.
Yeah. So I just want to tack on this point, like, how about Elena and Kristen? How about your program? Is it like what similar to what XJ just shared?
It is in a similar. It is similar in that way that we always need to do something creative because, for example, we are 50 students in visual arts, and for arts practice, for the last semester we had one topic, metamorphosis. So like each of us has to do 2 projects. So which means that we need to have like 100 projects on the same topic. In the middle of each semester, we have gatherings, like 2 groups, they combine together and they like show what they have done on the same topic. So as the topics are repeating, we need to create something new because, for example, in the second part of the semester, it was really hard to do something because when you're trying to think of something, you remember that, oh, my classmate did this like in the previous part, and then you really need to think and find out something new. And I'm really afraid that, not afraid, but I don't know the topic of our project in the semester, and I really hope it's not going to be the same topic because it's going to be a bit hard.
So that's the most challenging part by studying, your program, because you need to be creative all the time. Yeah. So how about Kristen?
For art and technology, like the topics, in terms of topics, is quite diverse. So we don't really have to think of different ways to go around that topic. And I feel like they also give you a chance to explore more, not just one topic, but like many topics, many aspects. And they actually help you build upon the last assignment. So this week we're learning how to use Unity, a game design software. And so like the first week they taught about like mapping all the 3D objects, and then the second week they taught lighting. So building upon that 3D object or 3D space, they added lighting. And then the third week they went into animation, like putting motion into those 3D objects and lighting. So it really helps you build upon the project as you go. And there's really only one specific project each semester. So it just builds upon, it doesn't, you don't really have to think of so many ways of doing the same topic.
So what's the most challenging part, do you think? So to Alina and XJ, that would be like, you have to think out of the box, you have to refresh yourself to think of new ideas, not to repeat your classmates' work, not to have the same idea with them. So how about you? The most challenging part in your program, Kristen?
I think it's still making it creative. I feel like even though there's only one topic, the creative levels are still different. And so being able to think in an abstract way. And like last year, we were designing posters, and many of the students worked in a more abstract way. So using like holographic material and just different types of textures, which I personally have difficulties with. I like working with shapes and like solid figures instead of more like fluid types of art. So it has been a challenge, but the professors always help you in that way and just give you advice on like how to fix that and how to make it more fluid, how to make it more abstract. So I think it's been very helpful so far, and I've been learning so much.
Great to know. And I mean, talking about the challenges, the current stories, experience, looking into the future. So, XJ, you mentioned all actors dreams to go to Hollywood, and you mentioned about the language issues, about like, Cantonese, Mandarin are the most common language to be used in Hong Kong, but then you are studying acting in Hong Kong. So, what is your plan? I mean, or did the professor share with you about the actors? Or I know there is no graduating class for your program, but I'm sure that your professors would have shared some future development plans with you during the class. So what is your plan?
Uh, as for what my professors have said, I know that the final year project for my program, it is that I believe is doing one screen work and a stage work, and that there will be casting directors or agents that will be there to see it, so that sort of the plan is that when we graduate, we're already part of an agency and we can go forth from there. We have sponsorship, a sponsor from an agency. Whereas from but for right now, for me at least, I don't know what that's like because I haven't heard anything about it. But for me, it is um I guess also I guess like as any actors who want to go Hollywood as an Asian, it is very hard. At least a lot of Asians don't really get there. But now we're seeing a whole trend that there's more Asian stars being nominated and also winning. Um, but for me, I don't. I've been a fan. I've been an observer, and I know that perhaps a way in, at least now, it is that you create your own films, you create your own short films, you do your own projects, and you get the recognition from other like-minded artists as you see it. And so for me, that's my goal right now, is to develop my techniques as a director and as a writer so that I can create films that me and my friends can act in, that we can populate, so that we can one day all hope to get there or be famous in Hong Kong or worldwide.
Yeah, thank you for your sharing. So, actually, I include some flaw questions into our conversation already. So, lastly, I would really want to know, like, okay, Hong Kong is a very special place, especially for creative arts. It's not a really big piece, not a really popular dimension for especially international students to pick this option. So, I would really want to know if at this moment, if you would recommend, I mean, using your own experience, if you would recommend your friends from your own country to study your program in Hong Kong Baptist University. So, Alina actually mentioned about before. So, how about Kristen and XJ?
I would definitely recommend from like any country actually, because art tech is becoming more popular these days, and Hong Kong is one of the HKBU is actually one of the very few universities that provide this kind of major, and I am thinking of going exchange in the coming year in my third year, and I've been looking at different courses, different universities, and I start to realize, oh, many universities actually don't have this program, and it's like fairly new, so they don't. I guess they're still in the process of making that major a part of their university. So it's been hard for me to locate different universities that really connect with my major and that I can transfer credits to. But Hong Kong Baptist University, like the exchange programs are actually really good as well. They are making new partnerships with different universities in Europe, in the States, in Asia, like Korea, China, and you'll be able to learn not just in one city, but in like multiple cities. And after graduation, you can also go to any city you want to go to. You can stay in Hong Kong, or you can go back to your home country or go to any new country, and it's yeah, very good.
Thank you so much for your recommendation. You know it. So you really raised the confidence that students would really pick some new programs in the university because sometimes they would worry about, okay, no graduating class, nothing to take reference from, but then you guys really shared good stories. So how about you, XJ?
Would I recommend? Uh, Honestly, because also it is a problem, and I will be very honest about this, is that because it's situated in Hong Kong and that for example, my local friends can do outside casting. They can go and get themselves many different type of jobs and get themselves into the business much more easier than I could. So if let's say another foreigner would ask me, would it be possible? It is possible, but it would be a very hard journey for you if you're starting your business here, if you did not know any single word of Cantonese, or if you did learn, then that would be a lot also better because you can slowly make yourself through the business. Um, but also, I would say that um, because the course itself, each year there's only 16 students, it is a very weird, it's not common to have a course that has such a small class. And to have such a small class, almost everyone and you see each other every day, but also we have also students who um, very honestly they left and because they later figured out that acting wasn't what they wanted or maybe it wasn't particularly screen acting and you feel this hole, you feel that there's a missing piece. And so I would really say for this program, um, perhaps be very not be very into acting but have a passion or have an interest in it and let yourself be open to this process because acting is a very tough uh, job, very tough profession to be in because of how much emotion you have to get into and sort of character work. Um, but also, I know that for like exchanges, our program has, I believe, now partnered with UAL in London to have our students go to their school to study screen acting there. But also, several of my seniors have found other schools throughout the world, particularly in the US, who also can do exchanges for, and that you can sort of do similar sort of units and do credit transfers, and you can learn different skills in the US and also find opportunities there and meet new people in the business there too. So
Yeah, I like you to be honest because acting is not an easy way to visual arts and arts and technology as well. So make sure you are really in love with that program before you choose when you're doing your application. So I'm sure that all of the audience are like getting more familiar with what you guys just shared about visual arts, about art and technology, about acting for global screen. You know more about what you will be experiencing when you're studying that program. So today I think that's the end because I think we sorted out all the questions from the floor, and so happy to have you all to attend the webinar today. And my great thanks, my great appreciation to Alina, to Kristen, to XJ for sharing their heartfelt feelings towards their program. So if you have any questions, would you guys mind sharing your email with them? Yeah, so please write to us if you would like to know more. I can share more information about the program, about everything with you all. And the recording will be streamed and shared with you all later on. So that's the end of the webinar. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time and attention.